بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. يا علي يا عظيم، يا غفور يا رحيم، أنت الرب العظيم الذي ليس كمثله شيء وهو السميع البصير. وهذا شهر عظمته وكرمته وشرفته وفضلته على الشهور، وهو شهر الذي فرضت صيامه عليه، وهو شهر رمضان الذي أنزلت فيه القرآن هدى للناس وبينات من الهدى والفرقان، وجعلت فيه ليلة القدر وجعلتها خيرا من 1000 شهر. فيا ذا المن ولا يمن عليك، من علي بفكاك رقبتي من النار، في من تمن عليه، وأدخلني الجنة برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم أدخل على أهل القبور السرور، اللهم أغن كل فقير، اللهم أشبع كل جائع، اللهم اكس كل عريان، اللهم اقض دين كل مدين، اللهم فرج عن كل مكروب، اللهم رد كل غريب، اللهم فك كل أسير، اللهم أصلح كل فاسد من أمور المسلمين، اللهم اشف كل مريض، اللهم سد فقرنا بغناك، اللهم غير سوء حالنا بحسن حالك، اللهم اقض عنا الدين وأغننا من الفقر، إنك على كل شيء قدير. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم رب شهر رمضان الذي أنزلت فيه القرآن وافترضت على عبادك فيه الصيام، صل على محمد وآل محمد، وارزقني حج بيتك الحرام في عامي هذا وفي كل عام، واغفر لي تلك الذنوب العظام، فإنه لا يغفرها غيرك يا رحمن يا علام. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم إني أفتتح الثناء بحمدك، وأنت مسدد للصواب بمنك، وأيقنت أنك أنت أرحم الراحمين في موضع العفو والرحمة، وأشد المعاقبين في موضع النكال والنقمة، وأعظم المتجبرين في موضع الكبرياء والعظمة. اللهم أذنت لي في دعائك ومسألتك، فاسمع يا سميع مدحتي، وأجب يا رحيم دعوتي، وأقل يا غفور عثرتي. فكم يا إلهي من كربة قد فرجتها، وهموم قد كشفتها، وعثرة قد أقلتها، ورحمة قد نشرتها، وحلقة بلاء قد فككتها. الحمد لله الذي لم يتخذ صاحبة ولا ولدا، ولم يكن له شريك في الملك، ولم يكن له ولي من الذل، وكبره تكبيرا. الحمد لله بجميع محامده كلها، على جميع نعمه كلها. الحمد لله لا مضاد له في ملكه، ولا منازع له في أمره. الحمد لله الذي لا شريك له في خلقه، ولا شبيه له في عظمته. الحمد لله الفاشي في الخلق أمره، وحمده الظاهر بالكرم مجده، الباسط بالجود يده، الذي لا تنقص خزائنه، ولا تزيده كثرة العطاء إلا جودا وكرما، إنه هو العزيز الوهاب. اللهم إني أسألك قليلا من كثير، مع حاجة بي إليه عظيمة، وغناك عنه قديم، وهو عندي كثير، وهو عليك سهل يسير. اللهم إن عفوك عن ذنبي، وتجاوزك عن خطيئتي، وصفحك عن ظلمي، وسترك على قبيح عملي، وحلمك عن كثير جرمي، عندما كان من خطئي وعمدي، أطمعني في أن أسألك ما لا أستوجبه منك، الذي رزقتني من رحمتك، وأريتني من قدرتك، وعرفتني من إجابتك، فصرت أدعوك آمنا، وأسألك مستأنسا، لا خائفا ولا وجلا، مدلا عليك فيما قصدت فيه إليك. فإن أبطأ عني عتبت بجهلي عليك، ولعل الذي أبطأ عني هو خير لي لعلمك بعاقبة الأمور. فلم أر مولا كريما أصبر على عبد لئيم منك علي. يا ربي إنك تدعوني فأولي عنك، وتتحبب إلي وأتبغض إليك، وتتودد إلي فلا أقبل منك، كأن لي التطول عليك. فلم يمنعك ذلك من الرحمة لي والإحسان إلي والتفضل علي بجودك وكرمك، فارحم عبدك الجاهل، وجد عليه بفضل إحسانك، إنك جواد كريم. الحمد لله مالك الملك، مجري الفلك، مسخر الرياح، فالق الإصباح، ديان الدين، رب العالمين. الحمد لله على حلمه بعد علمه، والحمد لله على عفوه بعد قدرته، والحمد لله على طول أناته في غضبه، وهو قادر على ما يريد. الحمد لله خالق الخلق، باسط الرزق، فالق الإصباح، ذي الجلال والإكرام والفضل والإنعام، الذي بعد فلا يراه، وقرب فشهد النجوى، تبارك وتعالى. الحمد لله الذي ليس له منازع يعادله، ولا شبيه يشاكله، ولا ظهير يعاذده. قهر بعزته الأعزاء، وتواضع لعظمته العظماء، فبلغ بقدرته ما يشاء. الحمد لله الذي يحيبني حين أناديه، الحمد لله الذي يجيبني حين أناديه ويستر علي كل عورة وأنا أعصيه ويعظم النعمة علي فلا أجازيه فكم من موهبة هنيئة قد أعطاني وعظيمة مخوفة قد كفاني وبهجة مونقة قد أراني فأثني عليه حامدا وأذكره مسبحا الحمد لله الذي لا يهتك حجابه ولا يغلق بابه ولا يرد سائله ولا يخيب آمله الحمد لله الذي يؤمن الخائفين وينجي الصالحين ويرفع المستضعفين ويضع المستكبرين ويهلك ملوكا ويستخلف آخرين والحمد لله قاسم الجبارين مبير الظالمين مدرك الهاربين نكال الظالمين صريخ المستصرخين موضع حاجات الطالبين معتمد المؤمنين الحمد لله الذي من خشيته ترعد السماء وسكانها وترجف الأرض وعمارها وتموج البحار ومن يسبح في غمراتها الحمد لله الذي هدانا لهذا وما كنا لنهتدي لولا أن هدانا الله الحمد لله الذي يخلق ولم يخلق ويرزق ولا يرزق ويطعم ولا يطعم ويميت الأحياء ويحيي الموتى وهو حي لا يموت بيده الخير وهو على كل شيء قدير اللهم صل على محمد عبدك ورسولك وأمينك وصفيك وحبيبك وخيرتك من خلقك وحافظ سرك ومبلغ رسالاتك أفضل وأحسن وأجمل وأكمل وأزكى وأنمى وأطيب وأطهر وأسنى وأكثر ما صليت وباركت وترحمت وتحننت وسلمت على أحد من عبادك وأنبيائك ورسلك وصفوتك وأهل الكرامة عليك من خلقك اللهم وصل على علي أمير المؤمنين ووصي رسول رب العالمين عبدك ووليك وأخي رسولك وحجتك على خلقك وآيتك الكبرى والنبأ العظيم وصل على الصديقة الطاهرة فاطمة الزهراء سيدة النساء العالمين وصل على سبطي الرحمة وإمامي الهدى الحسن والحسين سيدي شباب أهل الجنة وصل على أئمة المسلمين علي بن الحسين ومحمد بن علي وجعفر بن محمد وموسى بن جعفر وعلي بن موسى ومحمد بن علي وعلي بن محمد والحسن بن علي والخلف الهادي المهدي حججك على عبادك وأمنائك في بلادك صلاة كثيرة دائمة اللهم وصل على ولي أمرك القائم المؤمل والعدل المنتظر وحفه بملائكتك المقربين وأيده بروح القدس يا رب العالمين اللهم اجعله الداعي إلى كتابك والقائم بدينك استخلفه في الأرض كما استخلفت الذين من قبله مكن له دينه الذي ارتضيته له أبدله من بعد خوفه أمنا يعبدك لا يشرك بك شيئا اللهم أعزه وأعزز به، وانصره وانتصر به، وانصره نصرا عزيزا، وافتح له فتحا يسيرا، واجعل له من لدنك سلطانا نصيرا. اللهم أظهر به دينك وسنة نبيك حتى لا يستخفي بشيء من الحق مخافة أحد من الخلق. اللهم إنا نرغب إليك في دولة كريمة تعز بها الإسلام وأهله، وتذل بها النفاق وأهله، وتجعلنا فيها من الدعاة إلى طاعتك والقادة إلى سبيلك، وترزقنا بها كرامة الدنيا والآخرة. اللهم ما عرفتنا من الحق فحملناه، وما قصرنا عنه فبلغناه. اللهم المم به شعثنا، واشعب به صدعنا، وارتق به فطقنا، وكثر به قلتنا، وأعزز به ذلتنا، وأغن به عائلنا، واقض به عن مغرمنا، واجبر به فقرنا، وسد به خلتنا، ويسر به عسرنا، وبيض به وجوهنا، وفك به أسرنا، وأنجح به طلبتنا، وأنجز به مواعيدنا، واستجب به دعوتنا، وأعطنا به سؤلنا، وبلغنا به من الدنيا والآخرة آمالنا، وأعطنا به فوق رغبتنا. يا خير المسؤولين وأوسع المعطين، اشف به صدورنا، وأذهب به غيظ قلوبنا، واهدنا به لما اختلف فيه من الحق بإذنك، إنك تهدي من تشاء إلى صراط مستقيم. وانصرنا به على عدوك وعدونا إله الحق. آمين. اللهم إنا نشكو إليك فقد نبينا صلواتك عليه وآله، وغيبة ولينا، وكثرة عدونا، وقلة عددنا، وشدة الفتن بنا، وتظاهر الزمان علينا. فصل على محمد وآله، وأعنا على ذلك بفتح منك تعجله، وبضر تكشفه، ونصر تعزه، وسلطان حق تظهره، ورحمة منك تجللناها، وعافية منك تلبسناها، برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم برحمتك في الصالحين فادخلنا، وفي عليين فارفعنا، وبكأس من معين من عين سلسبيل فاسقنا، ومن الحور العين برحمتك فزوجنا، ومن الولدان المخلدين كأنهم لؤلؤ مكنون فأخدمنا، ومن ثمار الجنة ولحوم الطير فأطعمنا، ومن ثياب السندس والحرير والاستبرق فألبسنا، وليلة القدر، وحج بيتك الحرام، وقتلا في سبيلك فوفق لنا، وصالح الدعاء والمسألة فاستجب لنا. وإذا جمعت الأولين والآخرين يوم القيامة فارحمنا، وبراءة من النار فاكتب لنا، وفي جهنم فلا تغلنا، وفي عذابك وهوانك فلا تبتلنا، ومن الزقوم والضريع فلا تطعمنا، ومع الشياطين فلا تجعلنا، وفي النار على وجوهنا فلا تكببنا، ومن ثياب النار وسرابيل القطران فلا تلبسنا، ومن كل سوء يا لا إله إلا أنت، بحق لا إله إلا أنت فنجنا. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم إني أسألك أن تجعل فيما تقضي وتقدر من الأمر المحتوم في الأمر الحكيم، من القضاء الذي لا يرد ولا يبدل، أن تكتبني من حجاج بيتك الحرام المبرور حجهم، المشكور سعيهم، المغفور ذنوبهم، المكفر عن سيئاتهم، وأن تجعل فيما تقضي وتقدر، وأن تطيل عمري في خير وعافية، وتوسع في رزقي، وتجعلني ممن تنتصر به لدينك، ولا تستبدل بي غيري. أعوذ بجلال وجهك الكريم أن ينقضي عني شهر رمضان، أو يطلع الفجر من ليلة هذه ولك قبلي تبعة أو ذنب تعذبني عليه.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Mu'mineen, we have been requested to recite 5 times Amma Yujibul for Amar Eid. We recite together. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Amma yujibul mustarra iza da'ahu wa yakshifu as-su'. Amma yujibul mustarra. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. We pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to grant all marid shifa marda. Ilahi amin. Ala arwahil mu'minina wal mu'minat. Rahim Allahu man kara al-Fatiha.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إنا أنزلناه في ليلة القدر وما أدراك ما ليلة القدر. ليلة القدر خير من 1000 شهر. تنزل الملائكة والروح فيها بإذن ربهم من كل أمر. سلام هي حتى مطلع الفجر. صدق الله العلي العظيم.
محمد.
صلوا على محمد وآل محمد. صلوا على محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجهم. أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، إنه خير ناصر ومعين. ثم الصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين، حبيب إله العالمين أبي القاسم المصطفى محمد. اللهم صل على محمد. طب القلوب ودوائها ونور أبصارها وعلى أهل بيته الذين أذهب الله عنهم الرجس وطهرهم تطهيرا. صل على محمد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. والذين يقولون ربنا هب لنا من أزواجنا وذرياتنا قرة أعين وجعلنا للمتقين إماما. آمنا بالله صدق الله العلي العظيم. صلوات. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى محمد. For the purification of our hearts and hastening of the reappearance of our beloved 12th Imam, with the loudest of our voices, Sallu ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. Once again, mu'mineen and mu'minat, we thank Almighty Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala for gracing us with this wonderful moment, wonderful opportunity in this beautiful and holy month of Ramadan. We pray that Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala accept our humble efforts in this holy month and make us worthy of being His true slaves and servants. Last night, mu'mineen and mu'minat, we discussed community and the importance of having a community. And we encouraged one another to try as much as we can to play our parts towards serving our communities. Because when you volunteer or serves, no doubt you are serving the cause of Allah and the cause of Ahlul Bayt. Regardless of the challenges we may face and encounter during our services, we should not get discouraged. Work of Allah is always not easy, but the beauty part of it is the reward you get out of the service. The verse, mu'mineen and mu'minat, I've just quoted from the glorious Qur'an. It's again one powerful verse. This is Quran 25, Surah Al-Furqan, verse number 74. You know, if you look at this verse and verses before it and some verses after it, you realize that Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala is outlining the true qualities or the true characteristics of His true slaves and servants. So this verse in question is in a form of dua. وَالَّذِينَ يَقُولُونَ رَبَّنَا هَبْ لَنَا مِنْ أَزْوَاجِنَا. And those who say, "O our Lord, grant us from amongst our wives, وَذُرِّيَّاتِنَا, and our offsprings, what? قُرَّةَ أَعْيُنٍ, comfort to our eyes." Underline comfort to our eyes, قُرَّةَ أَعْيُنٍ. And then towards the end, said, وَجَعَلْنَا لِلْمُتَّقِينَ إِمَامًا. And Ya Allah, make us an example for the righteous ones. So there are two important points here in this beautiful verse. Qurratu a'yun and imama. Now, departing from this beautiful verse, our topic of tonight, mu'mineen and mu'minat, is the essence of family in the Holy Qur'an. And the examination of tonight is of the following brief stages. The first stage, we will look at the secret of a family from the Quranic perspective. Why family? Second stage of our examination, we'll look at the positive roles of our families. In other words, what roles are we expected to play towards our families? And then the last, but certainly not the least, stage of our examination is then to focus on the elements of a successful family. Not every family is a successful one. Last night, remember, we discussed community. There will be no community without families. Families are the suppliers of our communities. When we come like this, we are coming from different families. So assuming my family is trying its level best, and your family trying their level best, her family trying their level best, when we all come and convene here, what community do we give birth to? Solid community. But if I do not play my part in my family, and he or she does not play his or her part in his or her family, then the work of the community become mammoth, become tedious, become complicated. These communities that we have are made up of family units. And so tonight's discussion is really important. I'm not discussing about marriage. I will discuss about marriage tomorrow. I'm discussing family in general. First stage of the examination, the secrets of a family in the Holy Qur'an. Kindly, I seek your humble attentions, mu'mineen and mu'minat. Someone may come and ask you a question. What is a family? Family, mu'mineen and mu'minat, is simply when people become connected, either through marriage or through womb or adoption. Womb, sile rahim. Rahim is from the word womb. And so mother is a natural factor for social cohesion. The entire sile rahim evolves around woman, evolves around mother. That's why we say sile rahim. So family is when we become connected, either through marriage or through womb or through adoption. Now, yes, there are so many discussions out there. I don't want to bombard you with it. As to whether family is a natural institution or is a historical institution. This is very important. From the Islamic perspective, family is a natural institution. How? Because Allah tells us in the Holy Quran, وَمِن كُلِّ شَيْءٍ خَلَقْنَا زَوْجَيْنِ. For each and everything, we created in pairs. So pairing is a natural phenomena. And one of the examples of this natural phenomena is family, is marriage. But yes, there are those who hold the view that family is a historical institution. In what way? They say there was no need for family. The need for a family arose when man faced a challenge. And in trying to overcome his challenge, he established family. Otherwise, there was no need for having a family. But Islam says no. It's a natural phenomena in the sense that nature dictates the role man plays in a family and the role woman plays in a family. Woman comes with umuma, motherhood, and man comes with obuwa, fatherhood. And these are dictated by nature. Hence, Islam regards family as a natural institution. Now, look at the secret of a family in the Quran. Don't undermine your family. Family is so important. If we take care of our families properly, communities will not struggle to organize programs for us. These communities have roles to play without an iota of doubt, as we discussed last night. But if you want to throw your entire weight on the community without you doing anything, you'll be doing disservice to the essence and the secret of family within the religion of Islam. And today, it's a norm in some places that community will do everything. We sit, chill, and relax. Forgetting that those who are volunteering in the community, they also have families. So I would like to draw your attention to something very important from the verse I quoted earlier on. So the verse, inshallah, should be on the screen. When you examine this verse, kindly pay attention, brothers and sisters. وَالَّذِينَ يَقُولُونَ رَبَّنَا هَبْ لَنَا مِنْ أَزْوَاجِنَا وَذُرِّيَّاتِنَا قُرَّةَ أَعْيُنٍ. So my first point is قُرَّةُ أَعْيُنٍ. Comfort to our eyes. The second one is imama. To appreciate the secret of a family within the religion of Islam, one needs to appreciate these two terms. Qurratu a'yun is a compound term. And then you have imama. So let's begin with Qurratu a'yun. Please, I beg you, pay attention. What is Qurratu a'yun? Englishman says, comfort to our eyes. Meaning what makes our eyes happy. But when you examine Qurratu a'yun properly, you'll realize that Qurratu a'yun, comfort to our eyes, is made up of two factors. When those two factors are met, then you find Qurratu a'yun. What's the first factor? Peace of mind. Al-istiqrar. What's the second factor? Al-bahjatu, happiness. So when you have happiness and you have peace of mind, you can say, my family is a source of qurratu a'yun to me. That's the secret of a family in Islam. Family is equal to peace of mind and equal to happiness. Now let's discuss peace of mind. Istiqrar. Remember last night, I shared a verse with you. 17:19. That Allah says, insan is forever anxious. Innal insana khulika halu'a. Insan is anxious. Do you know what insan is more anxious of? His or her life. We are anxious of so many things. But if there is one thing that we are more anxious about, it's our lives. Now let's go further in trying to understand this peace of mind. Each and every person has two major lives. We have hayatun fardi, we have hayatun ijtima'i. Each one of us. We have individual life and we have societal or communal life. Our individual lives are so limited, very limited. And I mentioned this before. Individual life simply means the number of years you're going to spend in this world. 100 years? Fine. You're going to go still. 200? You're going to go. It's hypothetically, Muzay. May Allah grant you long life, Muzay, inshallah. Say Ameen. Shaukat uncle is a legend, man. So individual life, it's the number of years you spend in this world. It's so mahdud. And it's not a big deal. You know what insan is anxious of is not his individual, it's his communal life. What is communal life? Your name in your family. When you are no more in this world, how will your family remember you? In return, you as a member of your family, how will your community remember you? Marhum, this. Will you be qurratu a'yun for your family after your departure from this world or not? Because may Allah forbid, if one happens to live bad life, when people point fingers to you, it's not only you, but your family. So that's why you make the waja'alna qurratu a'yun. Make our families, our wives, comfort to our eyes. Will you depart while leaving behind a good name or not? That's qurratu a'yun. There are people, when they go, nobody even bothers to remember them anymore. So that's one. Number two is happiness. You know, we all have this instinct of love for beauty. There is no one who doesn't love beauty. And you know, family is the manifestation of insan. In other words, you and I, we represent our family clothes amongst people. Clothes is a symbol of beauty. Wherever you may be, whatever akhlaq you put on, it is the image and the name of your family you are portraying. So will you become a source of happiness to your family? Or will you become a source of headache and pain to your family? Family is the beginning of the journey. Is the point of departure. You miss that, it will be as if you've missed everything. You can't run away from your family. Go fix it. When you are able to fix it, together you fly and support and assist your community grow. Now look to the second stage of the examination. So remember, whatever you do in life, whether young or old, be a source of comfort to your family. Be a source of happiness to your family. Be a source that your family, when always they remember you and how you conduct yourself, make them happy. Positive roles of our families. This is the second stage of the examination. Very important. Family is everything. The first positive role of a family is that family shapes our identity. It is a platform where our identities are built. Communities, schools, outside world complement what the family do. What's your identity? What's my identity? Shia Ithna Ashari. First point of departure for this identity to be built is family. That's why the saying goes, charity begins at home. Number 2 positive role of our family is what? Our personalities are built by our families. What is a personality? Somebody comes and asks you, define personality for me. You're interacting with people. If you want to know their personality, look at 3 things. If you master these 3 things in their lives, you'll understand their personality. Number 1, their thought process. Number 2, their inclinations. Number 3, their norms. These 3 define people's personality. If I truly want to know you, I just look at these 3 things and I will conclude who you are. And I will know how to handle you. Everybody has his own inclination. So if I know your inclination, so long as it's not against Allah, I handle you according to your inclination. So our personalities are built by our families. So if family members ignore their duties and responsibilities, then communities and outside world will build our identities and our personalities. That is when communities are going to have manifold problems. Because families are ignoring their primary duties and responsibilities of looking after members of their families. Each and every member of your family has right over you to ensure that his identity and his personality are properly built and shaped. It begins with the family, mu'minin and mu'minat. I cannot overemphasize on the importance of this. Don't undermine families. Families are crucial. You all from families. And I'm definitely sure the way you are was a lot contributed by your family. Number 3, positive role of a family is what? Family instills the love of others and volunteerism in us. That's why sometimes you look at trend in our communities. His great-great-grandfather used to volunteer. And his grandfather was volunteering. Grandmom volunteering. Today they are all volunteering. No, my great-great-grandfather used to recite Marsiya and Mankabat. Today, one way or the other, I'm doing. Family is important. Go back to your families and work on your families. Then when you come as a good family, in general community becomes good. And then the 4th positive role of a family is what? Mu'minin and mu'minat. Family, Allahu Akbar, is a source of happiness for the members of that family. Your brother not happy is your duty. Work on him. Help him to be happy. Your sister, you are the first person to help them out. That وَجَعَلْنَا لِلْمُتَّقِينَ imama we recited earlier on, it is your duty. Any other person is just playing complementary role. Today you see brothers not talking to each other. Today we find sons not talking to their parents. Siblings in the same community, they don't see eye to eye. Sometimes maybe because of the inheritance of the father and the mother. It means you have not understood and appreciated the essence of a family within the religion of Islam. You know what? There is a strong correlation, a relationship between family and spirituality, or family and divinity. Family is godly and vice versa. Now look at the next 2 roles. Fascinating, mu'minin and mu'minat. It is the right of your family members to encourage them to become God-loving. You see, a member of your family who is not serious about his or her religion, before it goes outside, it is your duty to talk to the person, advise the person. Surah Al-Taha, Quran 20, verse 132, it will come on the screen. You'll see the ayah. وَأْمُرْ أَهْلَكَ بِالصَّلَاةِ وَاصْطَبِرْ عَلَيْهَا لَا نَسْأَلُكَ رِزْقًا. Look at the ayah. Allah is saying, we will not ask you of the wealth of this dunya. What is important, we'll ask you, number one, as to the spiritual growth of your family members. Sit with your children. Why are you not praying salah? Discuss. Sit with your sister who is not putting on hijab. But wastabir alayha, you need to be patient. It is your duty before it becomes the duty of a Maulana. It is primary your duty as a family member before it becomes the duty of the community. That is how Islam views family. Family is powerhouse. Family breaks mountains. Family is everything that we have and can be proud of. So if we take care of our families, then inshallah in return, we will have healthy communities. The last but certainly not the role that family plays in our lives is that you make dua for your family members. Pray for them. Allah help them. Allah soften their hearts to become God-loving, to become spiritually inclined. And the ayah will come. You all know this ayah. All of you love this ayah. Is the ayah on? Rabbi ja'alni muqim as-salah. وَمِن ذُرِّيَّتِي. My point is وَمِن ذُرِّيَّتِي Rabbana wa takabbal dua. Look at it. It is your duty towards your family members. It is my duty. When last did you make dua for your daughter so that she's able to stand and pray her salah? When last did you pray for your sister, for your kala, for your mama, for your chacha? When last did you pray for them? But Islam says it's your duty towards them and vice versa. That make dua for them. Ask Allah to guide them. Ask Allah to help them. It is our duty. It is our responsibility. They don't come to the mosque at all. Don't get worked out. Make dua. Speak to them. Make dua. And when you make dua, Allah helps. But if you don't make dua, then note that you are violating the rights of your family member over you. Now, last stage of the examination, which is very, very crucial for me. Elements of a successful family. Not every family is regarded successful. You know why I'm repeating this? I'm taking my time. I want all of us to appreciate the essence of our families. You work on your family. I work on my family. Everybody try. Why are we gathered here tonight? Because of one solid family, the family of Ahl al-Bayt. Family. Ya Ali. Ahsantumullah. Family. Ahlul Bayt, we say. household, family. So why don't you try to make your family following their footsteps? You know, there's a point I would like to indicate before we go to these elements of a successful family. You know, Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala mu'minin and mu'minat, in the Holy Qur'an, kindly pay attention to this again. He says to us, talking of course Prophet Musa alayhi salam and his people, says to them, وَجْعَلُوا بُيُوتَكُمْ كِبْلَةً. Make your homes Qibla. Now to appreciate this, kindly again, AV, I seek your help. Go back to the first verse. The first verse we quoted. 25:74. Look at this verse again. I want you to look at this verse again. You see, the last part of the verse said imama, isn't it? Imama. What's the meaning of imam? Leader. There are two meanings to the word imam. First meaning of the word imam is what? The one to whom the kingdom of earth and heaven is exposed to. These are Ahlul Bayt. They call it al-imama bima'na al-akhas. Special meaning of imama. They are exposed to the secrets of the kingdom of the earth and heaven. But we have second meaning of imama, bima'na al-a'am, the general meaning of imama. What's the general meaning of imama? Role model. The one who lead you in salat, you call it imam, meaning role model. He cannot be unethical. Imam leads salah, meaning role model. Your community leader, imam, meaning what? Role model. Now Allah, when He discusses family, He says, وَجَعَلْنَا لِلْمُتَّقِينَ إِمَامًا. Make our families not just role models, but role models for the righteous ones. Is your family role model for the righteous? Ask yourself this question and go and do your homework. Islam doesn't want our families just to become role models. But Islam wants our families to become role models for the pious, for the righteous. That is how Islam views families. It's so powerful. It's so important. And there is another verse in line with this one, where Allah says, make your homes Qibla. Muki, you make your home, your family, Qibla. Nur, I make my home, my family, Qibla. What does it mean? That Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala said to Musa alayhi salam and his people, make your homes, make your families Qibla. It means three things. And this is an invitation to all of us to work on our families. Number one, it simply means make your family a means of solace for those who are in pains. So yesterday we spoke of community. Islam now, your family should become a means of solace for those families out there who are in pains. That's the first meaning of Qibla. The second meaning of Qibla, which is beautiful, that make your home a place or a point where family relationships are strengthened. You know, Harith ibn Ziyad, one of the companions of Amir al-Mu'minin, he built a big house for himself. And he invited Imam Ali to the house. Imam Ali came to the house. And Amir al-Mu'minin said to him, use this house to get Jannah on the day of Qiyamah. So he asked Amir al-Mu'minin, how do I use this house to get Jannah? So Amir al-Mu'minin responded to Harith. And he said to him, number one, welcome guests to your house. Number two, strengthen family relationship. Number three, reach out to the needy in this house. So وَجَعَلُوا بُيُوتَكُمْ قِبْلَةً. Make your homes qibla. Meaning what? A place where relationships are cemented. And the last meaning of qibla is what? Make your homes role models. Your homes must be role models. So when you and your family come here, your family should be a family people look up to. If people don't look up to your family, then you have failed. Now let's look at the elements of a successful family and ask ourselves if our families are successful. Number one, mu'mineen and mu'minat. That family is a tranquil family. The relationship between the members of that family is very strong and powerful. You see how the children of Prophet Yaqub made him cry and lost his eyesight? Today we have people in our community like that. They make their parents or their siblings cry and have sleepless nights every day and every night. You see how some sons talk to their parents? Because now they are highly educated and rich and the parents are nothing. Because they've got PhD, they've got masters, they own mansions. Parents are nothing. The maid must take care of the parent. They don't bother. First element of a successful family is what? Habibi, my dear brother and my dear sister, is that there is peace amongst the members of that family. And here, I would like to share some practical tips on how to bring about peace in your families. Of course, between husband and wife and between family members. Number one, don't ignore differences in your family. Don't ignore. Don't brush it under the carpet. Number two, seek to bring reconciliation, but don't seek to prove the other person is wrong and you are right. The moment you seek to prove the other person is wrong and you are right, that's the beginning of the longest journey. Number three, appreciate the feelings and the emotions of the other person. Appreciate that. You don't know what that family member is going through. Appreciate that emotions and understand the feeling of that family member. And the last but not the least, you as a family member, now and then, try as much as you can to strengthen the bond between your family members. Habibi, if families are not in talking terms, when they come to the community, what community are we giving birth to? Today, some of the issues we are facing in our communities of antagonism, of problems, are from families. Are not necessarily from the community. But families, people carry it to the community. This is my friend. this is not my friend, or this is my brother's friend. I don't want to be with him because he associates with my brother, and it keeps going and going and going. And in return, community is suffering and struggling. That's number one. You want to regard your family a successful one? Look at the bond between you and your siblings. Oh. Your parent will not sleep well if you are not in talking terms. Wake up before it's too late. That's number one. Number two, this is so important. Your family must be proactive family. Proactiveness is an element of a successful family. Your family is too quiet, not trying to help in the community, not trying to do anything, and you expect a miracle from the community. Oh, stop, man. What are you doing first in your family before you ask a billion things from the community? You know what Prophet said? Tafa'alu bil khayri tajidu. Be proactive in doing khair. You will find khair. And in one tradition, Amir al-Mu'mineen mentioned, Al-Aqilu man ya'tamidu ala amalih, wal-Jahilu man ya'tamidu ala amalih. He said, witty person, intellectual person, is the one who depends on his actions. But ignorant is the one who depends on only empty ambitions. Be proactive. Your family need to be proactive. You know, after Sulhul Hudaybiyah, the peace treaty of Hudaybiyah, Prophet was sitting with his companions. Then this companion, Suhail, came. While he was coming to Prophet looked at his companion and said to them, your affairs are now going to be easy. They asked Prophet, why? He said, because Suhail is coming. Why? Because Suhail was proactive. The energy. Bring positive energy from home to the community. If you have less negative energy in the community, your home's positive energy that you are bringing on board will help those who are coming with negative energy. But if we all come with negative energy, no unity in the family, those who are struggling and it is beyond their control, we will not be able to help them. So let's fix families. It's crucial. You know, yesterday I said, invest in madrasa. Number 2, invest in family affairs. Invest. Today, you know, seriously, I'm not joking. If you ask people in our communities, good number will tell you, our challenge is intellectual challenge. I differ. They said it's intellectual challenge, Aqidah, because somebody from that part of the world says something about the Aqidah. It's a challenge. But the greatest challenge we are faced with as community, family. Family. It's not easy, man. But so now we are investing in making sure we tackle the intellectual challenge. Who is going to invest to tackle the social challenges that we are faced with? Don't think we don't have people who do drugs. It's not only chewing mirror. And I completely discourage people from chewing mirror because it's a waste of time. It's unhealthy. But we have people who go into alcohol. Some maybe because of the stress they are going through in their families. So invest on family. Repair family fractures. So number 2 element of a successful family is that the family is proactive. They love Ahlul Bayt. They show it. They try their level best to invite others to love Ahlul Bayt and to contribute towards the affairs of Ahlul Bayt. Number 3 element of a successful family, mu'mineen and mu'minat, is what? They build the will powers of their family members. I'll explain how. You know, the Holy Prophet said, Allah yarhakahu wa la yahtariku bih. He said, you people when you want to build someone, don't spoon feed him and don't allow him to burn on his own. That's building people's resilience and willpower. Look at your family members. Build their willpower. Help them grow. Help them thrive. I mentioned this before. There are those who make names outside, but family members are zilch and zero. You have to start with your house, because that's your name. So that's number 3. Number 4 element of a successful family is that they encourage each other. They encourage each other. Do you encourage your family members? Do you call them, say, go to the mosque, try your level best, don't give up, help out? Or no, you encourage them to do something? You know, the Holy Prophet went to the mosque in Medina, and he found this Arab man reciting dua beautifully. When he finished reciting, Prophet called him and he gave him a gift. Then Prophet asked him, do you know why I gave you this gift? He said, no, maybe I'm from the family of Amir ibn Sa'sa. Prophet said, yes, you are from the family of Amir ibn Sa'sa, but I'm giving you this gift because of the beautiful way you recited. But the point I'm trying to make is what? Prophet encouraged him, isn't it? But then he's from a family. So it's a successful element to encourage your family members. You see them down, reaching rock bottom, encourage them, lift them up. It's so important. It is duty. It is our duty to do so. And then number 5 elements. Don't support your family members to sin against Allah. So the element is what? You assist your family members to be obedient to Allah. That's why we have a tradition from our beloved Prophet. May Allah's curse be on any parent who assists their children to disobey them. And may Allah's blessings be on any parent who assists their children to obey them. Allah, today family members can easily make it possible for us to disobey Allah. Some even they will tell you are too much, like Maulana, you're too much. You're too extra. Today you try to help people say you are too extra. Life is too short, let's enjoy. I'm sure you heard this before. But don't get discouraged. But don't become a means for them to commit sins against Almighty Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. Don't. And then last but certainly not the least, element of a successful family. They always, this family, always instill beautiful values in their family members. Beautiful values. Love of Allah, love of Ahlul Bayt, love of justice, love of universal principles, like reaching out to others, is so important. So, Mu'minin and Mu'minat, the garad is what? We as family members, we have roles to play. And we will be questioned of our roles on the day of Qiyamah. Today you go to some places, I don't know of here, Mombasa really. To some families, madrasa is a babysitting place. Yeah? Husband and wife, they said, we want to chill, so let's set them. Come parent morning, it's your duty you have to do. Who told you it's the duty of the madrasa? Wallah, it's not their duty. They are just volunteering. You're not paying them. You're not paying them. Madrasa teaching begins at home before madrasa itself. When your children's school invite you for parent morning, do you go or not? It's on your diary. It's on your Google diary. But madrasa, when they say parent come, say no, it's your duty to do, man. Sunday is our day. We want to spend quality time. Huh? Really? That's why sometimes we struggle. Wallahi mu'minin and mu'minat. So as family, it is your responsibility to instill the love of Allah and Ahl al-Bayt in your children before any other person. Madrasa is complementing, and they will continue to complement. But you as parents, as families, grandparents, show love and honor those who teach your children. Respect them. You know the secret? If the one who teaches your child is happy when teaching the child, it impacts the child positively. When the one who teaches your child is not happy because of your disrespect, it also impacts negatively. It's a soul-to-soul relationship. Teaching, you know, I'm talking like this, yeah? Ba, 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 ba. That's not what affects. What will bring the effect is the sincerity of my heart. If I'm happy and I am fair, it affects the heart. But this one is lip service. So let's rise to the occasion, mu'minin and mu'minat, so that we can build a strong family, and in return, a strong family will feed our community to be strong. Inshallah, tomorrow I will continue with this discussion. Tomorrow I'm discussing marriage as a natural phenomena in the Holy Qur'an. And we'll look at the current or contemporary challenges that our marriages are faced with, and then ask ourselves, what does Qur'an advise us to do when it comes to those challenges? And please, mu'minin and mu'minat, don't make this as a talk show. Make it something you're going to reflect and think about it and do your own personal homework on how, inshallah, to improve. So challenge yourself. That is the action plan I would like to throw to you. Challenge yourself and your family. What are we doing as family to truly emulate and follow the footsteps of Ahl al-Bayt? You as family, I want you to appreciate your role. Wallahi. Now if you have any question, you can ask me before we conclude, inshallah. Any question? Moki, you told me you had some questions.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Maulana, yesterday's conclusion, wal asr innal insana lafi khusr. You just touched the last ayat. It's about the patience and consistency.
No.
Would I be wrong in saying that except such we have faith and do righteous deed, enjoying to greater in the mutual enjoying of truth and patience? Would we call it as nahi anil munkar? Sorry, amr bil ma'ruf.
Ahsantum. So this verse, إِلَّا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالْحَقِّ وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالصَّبْرِ. They are all together, they are interlinked. So those who believe, they don't just believe. They follow their beliefs with good deeds. In addition to that, tawasaw bil haqq, that's amr bil ma'ruf. Tawasaw bil sabr is also amr bil ma'ruf and nahy anil munkar. So they encourage one another to do the right things, to do what is truthful, And they also encourage them to be patient. Be patient. So these are qualities of a true believer. And as I mentioned last night, we need to have etiquette of handling differences in our communities. There is no point I go on social media and bash someone. There is no point I stand somewhere and lambast someone. The best way to do so, tawasaw bil haqq. I come to you with the truth. I discuss the truth with you. But as I do that, I don't expect a miracle to happen. I need to be patient. Miracle will not happen. You know, in fact, can I add something here, Muki? You know, when it comes to social interaction, we need to be smart. If you're not smart, you may not be able to achieve much. What do I mean? You see, we have tradition from Imam Jafar alayhi salam. Salli ala Muhammad wa ala. That لو علم الناس كيف خلق الله لما لام أحد أحدا. Allahu Akbar. If people know how Allah created, no one will blame anyone. Know what it means? Say, you know, this person is too cheeky. Yes, he can change, but he's too cheeky. When you deal with him, you know how to handle him because he's too cheeky. You know, this person is too mean. So the tradition is saying that if you understand how people are, it will be difficult to blame anyone. You see, the best way to deal with people is to understand the way they are. So you can attack those nerves when the time is up. You see, there are people, when they are moody, you can't get through them. It's only when they are sober. But there are people, the opposite. When they are moody and you throw the bombs, that's the time they pick it up. So I'll give an example. Group of people went to visit our beloved Prophet. One of them had an infant with him. So while they were with Prophet, Prophet took the child, praying for the child. But unfortunately, the child messed with the clothes of the Prophet. When that happened, these other people were looking at the father of the child with a certain look. So you know what Prophet said to them? He looked at all of them. He said to them, you have destroyed the soul of this child. What does it mean? Baba, what is the sin of the child? So social techniques is important. Social techniques is crucial. Sometimes, you know, when I come to you, Muki, I want to talk to you, I first have to monitor your body language. Your body language will tell me, should I say it or not? These are all part of social techniques. Isn't it? Sometimes you see, like the way you've done, Muki, like this. Yeah? In a world of communication, when you do like this, you are being defensive. But of course you are not. I don't think you are. But in the world of communication, you've been defensive. No, sometimes somebody's talking to you, you just sit relaxed, like helpless. It means, you know what? I do not bother. So we need to understand people. And the best way is that instead of you expecting them to change their style, why not you change your style? Maybe you'll be able to appeal to them. Yes, some people, it's a mountain to climb. But the best way to do so is what? Instead of saying you, I'd rather say I, me. Maybe through that, I will be able to change things. So definitely it's Amr bil Ma'ruf wa Nahy anil Munkar. But of course, you know, Amr bil Ma'ruf and Nahy Munkar has their conditions, isn't it? If there are no conditions, you can't do Amr bil Ma'ruf wa Nahy anil Munkar. One of the conditions is that you are convinced this person who has committed the sin, he knows that it's wrong and he committed it. He knows that it's wrong and then he committed. Number 2 condition is that, you know, when you talk, it will help. But you know, even if you talk, you can bring a malaika, the person will not change. It means you are not obliged to do Amr bil Ma'ruf. But today, mashallah, everybody is Amr bil Ma'ruf wa Nahy anil Munkar. Any other question? Okay, there are two and then we make dua. Okay, there is also one behind there.
Assalamu alaikum, Maulana.
Alaikum salam, Hajina.
Yes, the discussion of successful family
Naam.
and a successful community that we discussed yesterday
Naam.
goes hand in hand with the question of social justice.
Naam.
So my question is, whose responsibility is to establish just communities and families? This is question number one.
Okay.
Question number two, what is the role of the knowledge of irfan in a successful maybe marriages or families or communities?
Naam.
Just
Ahsan.
these two questions.
Thank you.
Jazakallah.
Who is responsible when it comes to the establishment of social justice? All of us. All of us. It begins with you as an individual. Begin with yourself. Imam Ali said, not me. The tradition are of two versions. Man ja'ala or man nasaba. من جعل نفسه إماما فليبدأ بتربية نفسه ومن نصب نفسه إماما فليبدأ بتربية نفسه. Whoever makes himself a leader to lead people, before you start guiding them, start guiding yourself. Do tarbiyah of yourself first before you do their tarbiyah. That's why, there's a beautiful tradition that companions of the Prophet, including Amir al-Mu'minin, when they would go to Prophet to learn verses of the Qur'an, narration tells us they would learn and implement before they would go to Prophet to take new ones. They said, we will not go to Prophet for any new verses until and unless we implemented the previous ones. Allah. How many majalis we have in a year? I'm not saying implement everything. Implement less than quarters of the majlis we are having will be sorted. So, ibda' bi nafsik, begin with yourself. And that is what Imam Sahib al-Asr wa Zaman is waiting for. When there are people who are champions of justice, inshallah, Imam will come. And the last question is about the knowledge of irfan, mysticism or spirituality. It cut across, it's everywhere. Because what is irfan? What is irfan? Akbar will be the best person to give definition of irfan, because Akbar is irfan himself, man. No, don't give him the mic about it. What is irfan? Irfan is a knowledge which provide you with tools, and these tools will help you to reach the highest heights in the realm of Islamic spirituality. That's irfan. Ma'rifah. And I mentioned this before here. Our souls are created to return to Allah. I'm not talking of death. That is ma'rifah. So you see, you recite this ayah, inna lillah wa inna ilayhi raji'un. So people, mystics, they look at it, they say, inna lillah is qawsun nuzuli wa inna ilayhi is qawsun su'udi. You see, we have descending arrow and we have ascending arrow. Meaning what? We all have descended from Allah. Now we are ascending one after the other. So we are not of the same spiritual level. There are some of us, when they hear adhan, they can't do anything until they pray. That's the level of the irfan. There are some 30 minutes before salat time, all their bodies is all about salah. Whatever they do, their mind is in salah. That's their level. There are those, no, salat time will be over. 1 hour will come. Another hour will come. Say, you know what? Aina Shida. It's not a big deal. We'll pay later. That's their level. So it depends on our level. So therefore, spirituality is everywhere, Habibi. Without spirituality, everything will be dry. So spirituality has to do with our emotions, yeah? And then, of course, knowledge has to do with our intellect. So knowledge as knowledge is too dry without emotions. So you need to mix the two together. So it goes all over. And that is where the beauty of religion comes in. There is one there and then we're done, inshallah.
Assalamu alaikum wa
Salam
rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. In regard to an incident of Treaty Hudaybiyah, when Amir bin
Suhail
bin Amr was coming, that he was very proactive and prophets predicted an incident, but you never gave us the incident of proactiveness.
Ahsantum. Proactiveness, Hajina, is not to wait for others to do, to be in the forefront of doing the good. So Suhail was always in the forefront. Of course, learning from great companions of our beloved Prophet like Amir al-Mu'mineen, Salman al-Muhammadi, Salman al-Farisi. Salman himself is an epitome of proactiveness. You know, some people, they just want everything to be done for them. And excuse me, really, forgive me. Some of those people, they have the biggest mouth, the loudest. They don't serve the niyaz. But if one mistake is made during the serving of the food, they will have the loudest voice than any other person. They never taught in madrasa. But small mistake happened in madrasa, mashallah. They've got the longest member than anyone. So proactiveness is what? You know, Prophet, mashallah, he had some very powerful companions. They were in the forefront. You see, Ahlul Bayt, they had few number of companions, isn't it? But they were proactive. So the point I was trying to make is that be proactive. Before you talk, let your action talks. You know, if you allow your action to talk, when the time is up for you to talk, you have points to throw. When you don't do anything, you drive, mashallah, you come, you park, and niyaz is ready, you eat, you go home, mashallah. You don't know, some people come here 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, they come to prepare. Hey, it's not easy, man. It's tough. Nobody is paid to do it, man. You know, in Birmingham, I always tell them, man, there are only maybe 2-3 people who are paid. The resident alim, and then the caretaker and someone. The rest are all volunteers. Respect them, salute them. Let's appreciate one another. So be proactive. You come to the field to do it also, man. And you'll see, it's not easy, huh? It's easier said than done. Any other question?
Ustad, what I meant is when the Prophet said, Sahal al-Amri.
Now,
what really happened for that incident to be seen that it was proactiveness of
so some of them, obviously this, it's more historical event. Some of them were sort of paranoid. They don't want to take a move. They want to associate themselves with some others who were not necessarily with what the Holy Prophet wanted. Prophet left the matter in their hand. Now Suhail is coming. He knows when Suhail comes, he's not going to do dilly-dallying, isn't it? Suhail is just going to say, you know what, guys, let's go. Let's go. Don't delay. Let's go. So Prophet had those type of companions who, when they speak, the other companions who were undecided will say, you know what? The energy is here. So let's be like that sometimes. Let's be like that. Last question. I saw some hands there. Okay. Mike here.
Maulana, I'm a student of community development.
Now.
Sometimes when you are busy building community and family, some characters somewhere they are also busy destroying your effort.
Now.
So how can you overcome those challenges? Please, word of advice.
Ahsant. You see, you will never find it easy when you deal with insan. The most complex and difficult creature to deal with is insan. Insan is very complex. You know, there's a tradition of Imam Ali. I was sharing with some of the brothers a few nights ago, where Imam Ali says, when you love someone, like you love someone, reserve a little bit room for disappointment. Because if you throw everything there, the day you get disappointed, it will finish you. Likewise, if someone is not in your good book, reserve a little bit room that one day the same person will come. Otherwise, if you just say, you know what, this is not for me, one day you will be disappointed, as the person may change. So when you deal with people, the best way, Habibi, to deal with people is that always respond bad with good, as Qur'an mentioned. Try not to respond bad with bad. It's difficult. It's not easy. You know you have an aim. There is something you want to achieve. Focus on your aim. Otherwise, if you focus on responding them, you may get distracted and you'll get nowhere. So what you need to do, don't talk too much. Focus on what you are doing, but respond with goodness. Respond with good akhlaq. You never know. Your akhlaq may change them and they may join you. Ahlul Bayt Prophet had a lot of distractors. Imam Ali had them. How did they deal with them? With good akhlaq and good behavior. But make sure you try as much as you can to have those who share your ideas so that you can work and build what you are building. You don't need the entire community. You need only 5-6 people and you'll be able to achieve your aim, so long as they are sincere to buy the idea that you have. Naam Haji. Last one.
One of the verse Maulana you mentioned today, ربنا هب لنا أزواجنا وذرياتنا واجعلنا للمتقين إماما. Then it finished لا ينال أحد الظالمين. How do I connect?
No, so these are two verses.
Okay.
Yeah. So the first one, the one you quoted. ربنا هب لنا من أزواجنا وذرياتنا قرة أعين وجعلنا للمتقين إماما. That's one verse.
Okay.
In Surah Al-Furqan. Okay. But then there's another verse which you've just quoted.
لا ينال أحد الظالمين.
إني جاعلك للناس إماما.
Okay.
Different. Okay. ومن ذريتي, said to Ibrahim, قال لا ينال أحد الظالمين. So obviously this one, Furqan talking of family. It's all about the imama in this Furqan is talking of a family. It simply means let your family become role model for other families. But then this one is talking about imamate, that imamate we believe in. That Ibrahim, after he fulfilled whatever God tasked him to do, the reward God gave Ibrahim, he said, you're going to be imam. That is why we believe as lovers and followers of Ahlul Bayt, the highest spiritual stage one can reach is the stage of imamate. So we believe Prophet Muhammad wasn't just a prophet and messenger, he was also an imam. Because we believe the highest level is imamate. And Allah made it very clear. Ibrahim said, Ya Allah, make my family imams. He said, no, a dhalim cannot. Okay. So there are people who are dhalim, beginning of their lives, and later they change, they become good. And vice versa. Still, they are dhalim. Yeah.
Thank you. On the proactive, in the Battle of Badr, when Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when Abu Sufyan had tried to went away and he could not maybe meet. Then when he called all the Sahaba regarding should we fight, should we continue, they were hesitating. Miqdad al-Aswad, the one who stood and pulled out his arm and say, you tell us, is that part of proactive?
Absolutely. Lead. May Allah forgive us, inshallah. May Allah expedite the reappearance of the Imam of our time. وآخر دعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله على محمد وآله الطاهرين. صل على محمد وآل محمد. الفاتحة. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
السلام عليك يا رسول الله، السلام عليك يا نبي الله، السلام عليك يا أمير المؤمنين وسيد الوصيين، السلام عليك يا فاطمة الزهراء سيدة نساء العالمين، السلام عليك يا حسن المجتبى، السلام على الحسين وعلى علي بن الحسين وعلى أولاد الحسين وعلى أصحاب الحسين، خصوصا مولانا بالفضل العباس وأختيك زينب وأم كلثوم وبنتك سكينة. السلام عليك يا أئمة المسلمين علي بن الحسين ومحمد بن علي وجعفر بن محمد وموسى بن جعفر وعلي بن موسى ومحمد بن علي وعلي بن محمد والحسن بن علي. السلام عليك يا مولانا يا صاحب العصر والزمان، الأمان 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 من فتنة الزمان. السلام عليك يا خليفة الرحمن، السلام عليك يا شريك القرآن، السلام عليك يا مظهر الإيمان. أجر الله تعالى فرجك وسحر الله تعالى مخرجك وظهورك ورحمة الله وبركاته.